I want to be able to touch like so many different people's lives, like whether it's entertaining and hardcore, whether it's drugs and addiction, whether it's growing up in a broken home, all those things, suicide, anxiety, depression, BPD, all those different things that like lots of people don't talk about. Like there are so many great artists that come out with music like that like just it goes over people's heads and no one talks about that. But we talk about flipping Kanye and Drake's album, okay? We got all these great artists out here like actually trying to make an impact on some real shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
Not flexing their money arms.
So how did you come up with the Northwoods Killer name? Did that one take some time?
Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be really funny, but actually the original, when we were coming up with names, the first one, because we were a trio. This is so bad. I'm so glad.
Please don't say Evil 3.
No,
Okay,
this is so bad.
That was awesome.
Because I literally said, I told them when it came out, I was like, there's no way we can fucking market that. No one's going to allow that. You think that? No. So because we were a trio, they did TRI/suicide. Try suicide.
Triple suicide. I mean...
Yeah.
But
it was spelled...
Terrible name?
No, it was supposed to be triple suicide. But the way it was spelled was TRI.
Yeah.
So you take it as try suicide.
Like try suicide.
Oh my god, that didn't even...
Okay,
yeah. I was like, what do you guys
oh
mean?
my
No,
god.
that wasn't clicking for me either.
Because I was looking at it in my head and I'm like, oh, try, like triple.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes sense. But no.
No,
yeah,
we knew that, but no one else would.
Yeah,
so
like,
then,
just somebody reading that
could you
online
just
is
imagine
like,
if we came out with merch?
Try suicide? Actually, though, bro, you literally could market that.
Well,
Really
yeah,
well,
I
especially
probably
now in
could.
this day and age. No, just because
But-
I know
oh my
there's a
God.
lot of merch nowadays that is like, give up. Shit like that. Like, literally, like, just dumbass, like, negative, but, like, in positive kind of notations on the shirt. You know what I
I
mean?
think
But I
try
was-
suicide's too to the punch. Like,
No,
A little bit.
Like,
A little
But if
bit.
it's
like-
still TRI, it means something different. Just take it as you will, right?
I know, but like the
And it can
fact
be funny,
that
right?
the fact we did that and it was a thing in our group chat forever before we like
Try suicide.
actually marketed it, and then I was like, dude, what about the Northwoods Killers? And I was like, we're from Wisconsin. I was like, that sounds super dope. Like that sounds like somebody you would go see. Like, hey man, I'm going to the Northwoods Killers concert, not the Try Suicide concert.
I will say,
Suicide were
But I feel like people would probably be intrigued. They'd be like, okay, Try Suicide, that's fucked up. When is it?
True. The try suicide kind of rolls off the tongue too. Northwoods Killers
Honestly-
also does. It's got like a roll to it, so you kept that at least with changing the name over. I think it works. The
Kinda
Northwoods
funny.
Killers.
I feel like it would work.
Yeah.
Like it's so
And
bad
there might,
that it's good.
and real shit, there might be a Northwoods Killers album someday. There might be
Someday.
like, where we have all of us on there.
Okay.
But like,
Okay.
I just kind of took it over because I was like, I'm not going through trying to make another name again. Like,
Of course, yeah. So how long have you been creating music as CJ Beretta or as well as Northwoods Killer?
I've been making music I've been making music seriously, like legit for 12 years since November of 2009 with all the different names. But
Okay.
music goes way back farther than that for me. Literally, music goes back as far as I can remember, literally. I said this on the other interview. My pops is probably a big reason that I am so into. I wouldn't say the music I'm into, but I'm so into music because my dad growing up, he was bullied a lot. He was different. He was the outcast, just like me. But he had music, and he just over time, throughout his entire life, had acquired a vast collection of music, from albums to CDs to cassettes, huge cassette collection, Like even dating back like the old school ones before like the plastic, like they just had the cardboard where you slide it in.
That matte black Donda cassette.
But yeah, so basically I grew up on everything that my dad really was playing. I mean, and he had everything from, you know, way back in like 50s, 60s all the way on up. Obviously I was born in 94, so like I grew up in the era of like kind of coming to the end of like where rap kind of switched to that whole gangsta, you know, because in the 90s is when all that other stuff, yeah, so I grew up with rock and roll, metal, rap, R&B, all that type of stuff. So like my dad is like a big reason. I was always sneaking stuff because I wasn't allowed to listen to explicit, so I would like sneak it upstairs and then like throw it in my Walkman or my CD player. Yeah, to anyone who's listening right now, before we had these nifty ass phones that you could just put your whole fucking playlist in. Yeah, so that's basically what happened.
Would you say that your dad was kind of the one who inspired you to make music, or was there something else or someone else that?
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, sorry. So would you say that it was your dad who kind of inspired you to start making music, or was there someone else or something else that made you take it from listening to making?
More so growing up before the rap thing happened. Like I grew up loving rap, but I didn't originally. That wasn't what I was trying to do. Actually, growing up, I wanted to be a rock star. Because I grew up with, like, you know, the 80s metal and stuff like that. And, like, I played sports and everyone's been any locker room or car ride back in those, like, early 2000s, like, everyone remembers those CDs and what was playing. But, so that's kind of what I wanted to do. And it started off as that, and then slowly but surely it just kind of transformed into me doing that. I actually didn't really become serious about becoming a rapper until I had spent time in Norwood for trying to take my own life. And I wrote poetry, a lot of poetry, like growing up, but like I never really had songs. But the band thing, like I was saying, I wanted to be a rock star. So early on high school, like middle school, early high school was kind of the band thing. I was trying to do the whole rock star thing, but I was the only one who cared about writing anything, and everybody else just wanted the look so they could get the girls and talk about their band. And then I'd always get to the point where I'd be like, oh yeah? So like what's our next song that's coming out? Cause it was like, I get it. I totally understood what they were doing. Like, yeah, girls like, you know, fall in love with that long hair, the ripped jeans, and you know, just like, oh, it's a rock star. Like, you know, and I wanted to be that, but I was the only one putting effort in. And then finally, I just kind of gave up on that. But I knew I still wanted to do music. So I started to really take to it, and then like I said, I ended up coming up with After Dark while I was inside of Norwood, and that's how the After Dark thing, like I said earlier, After Dark I created After Dark music because I wanted to create something that, even though I'd been through so much pain in my life and been through so much, that my music's my therapy. So from then when I created it all the way up to now and forever, whatever I create through this label will always be after whatever I felt like I couldn't make it through. Even if it's joyous. Like, I know I said after the darkness, but like still from creation, everything that I make up to this point in time was after the darkness of my life that I still endure every day. You know, because I may not want to take my life now, but I still deal with anxiety and stress and depression on a regular basis. So, yeah,
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So, what does a day in the life of CJ Beretta look like?
The besides sitting in the studio, I spend most of my time with her. We got our cats and our puppy. My son Shadow.
That's a pretty dope name, actually.
Yeah.
He's 9, or is it 8?
He's 9.
He's 9.
Or is it 8? That's gonna be
He's a
me.
Japanese chin toy Pomeranian. He's black and poofy.
Yeah, he's awesome. He thinks he's a pit bull.
Really does.
And then we got what order does it go in with the cats? It's okay. Well, there's
Kelso, Jack,
and Meaty,
Meatball,
Meatball,
and Harley.
and Harley. Harley has no ears because she was found outside during the winter time.
Yeah, she was under the trailer next door, and I saved her.
So she got frostbite and her ears fell off.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Yeah, she was literally under the trailer, and when I got her in, like her ears were like bleeding, and I don't know how long she had been outside for, but yeah, she's a sweetheart.
But
I bet.
Oh God, she is.
basically, like a lot of either writing. There's music playing always playing all day in multiple rooms, so you can walk through.
Just different vibes
Oh,
in each
yeah.
room.
We have my studio, which has my studio speakers, which could be playing anything. We have surround sound and a Bluetooth in the back, which she's usually in there or in the room doing sound, and then there's a Bluetooth speaker out in the living room with a sub as well. So like you could be in 3 different rooms with 3 different vibes.
There's
Oh, yeah.
always music.
So it's that, a lot of snacking, a lot of
We
moves.
do a lot of outside stuff.
Yeah, we have tons of plants in the house, like from small to big. Like that's one of her passions.
What do you call it? A botanist? Are you a botanist?
Well, no, but my aunt is. I mean, you can't even picture like what her yard looks like. It's like a magical place, and she always got me into it. And then now I just keep getting more, and they're growing, and it's making me excited, so I get more. And now I'm deep into it. Did you say AMSR? ASMR?
ASMR, yeah.
Okay.
No, I cracked
I
it
can't handle
open
that
and
stuff.
said Wheezy F baby.
Jesus.
So we were kind of talking about this a little bit beforehand. I'm gonna jump to the cover art. You draw on your phone your own cover art. You said? With your
Yeah, I
finger?
do all my
Why
photo.
would you do the next one? The next one has to do. Never mind.
I do all my photo editing, all my graphic design stuff. Now this year, I finally, through a buddy of, well, actually one of her best friends, but who has become my buddy in the underground scene, Tater. He introduced me to a bunch of digital artists who actually could do more with my images, because for years I've just been making these images and then putting them out, and I'm getting to the point where lots of people are starting to ask for like merch or like things with the logo, and I don't have any vectorized images because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I just know how to draw. It became, it's always been a thing. I've always been artistic. And I don't know, I just picked it up one day, like, I don't know, probably around the same time that I started really getting serious with music. And I can do fonts, I can do all that stuff. I actually also wanted to try out being a tattoo artist when I was younger, but then I grew to realize I got like crackhead hands. So like I can like draw really good, but that's about it. So like I could probably draw you a design, but then it's like it's over with. Like I was saying earlier about my my bro Josh. He has a tattoo shop in Weston that he's just about to open. Is it open yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just opened the ink spot. I don't know the thing offhand, but
it's an amazing place. You feel like you're getting tattooed in a living room. Like it's no, they set it up and it is wild. You really should go check it out. It's awesome.
But I actually ended up. His nickname is Scrimp Daddy
Oh, jeez.
because he loves shrimp, and that's like a thing amongst us. And I ended up kind of getting it like really going.
Yeah.
And now he goes by it now. And I ended up drawing this thing. I ended up drawing it. And I made him a design that says Scrimp Daddy. And he's going to end up putting it on his wall in his shop. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
That's pretty dope.
So yeah, I do all my art. I do all my. I mean, I wouldn't say photography. I don't have a camera anymore, but we're gonna get one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Do you make your own beats?
No, I do not. I have a lot of homies that make beats. I also, search on the internet like everybody else, but I try to stay away also from I'm just glad I'm not the type beat person, because I don't understand why that ever became a thing. But like literally when people like look up some, like I understand when people do it to get like the vibe of a certain artist, but like if you know anything about music and you listen to music on the regular, when you go to listen to those beats, half of those beats are just the song from that person slowed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you know anything about like samples in your ear, because we've been listening to music our whole lives, so that's all filed away in there. So you go to listen to this beat and it's got like 836K, and then you go and play it and it's like, dude, that's literally just that song. Slow it down. Like the other day I found Paper Cuts by MGK. Someone made a beat and they called it Paper Cuts. It's literally just the beat to that song slowed.
You just
Oh,
shot,
wow.
yeah.
So it's like, but I
Lazier than Donda.
But I have a producer right now. His name is Bad Mind. He goes by Keith. I do not know how to say his last name.
Kind of the blah blah blah. I don't know. It's long and it's
I don't know.
Cosmopolitan?
kind of.
Kind of. Keith Cosmopolis.
Cosmopolis? Yeah, that looks all right.
Yeah, but he goes by Bad Mind. He
Amazing producer.
Yeah, he puts beats out so fast. Like literally, he's got for all the artists he has a huge discography with so many different famous artists and underground artists as well. And like I got the opportunity to work with him, not directly. He doesn't live around here, but like he just is constantly creating all day, every day.
Oh yeah, he shoots out like God, I don't even know. Sometimes like the same type of beat, there's 10 of them in a day he'll shoot out.
Damn,
Better
10
than
of
the
them,
other.
that's a
Yeah,
lot.
he's nuts, dude.
Yeah, he is crazy on an MPC, man.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think
So-
we kind of did the next one there.
What? Which one?
The genre.
No, yeah, I was gonna go to the. What are your top 5 artists and why?
Wow.
And if you have to, you can do bands. So, because I know you're into a lot of different music.
Oh man, I hate whenever someone asks me this question.
But I gotta ask it, man. This is an interview. What do you expect?
Well, no, that's fine. No, I just hate it because I can never. No matter what I come up with, I'm still gonna be like regretting it later. I'm gonna be like sitting there at home like fuck Garke. Fuck Garke for asking.
A lot of people probably sit at home and say "fuck Garke." Shit happens. It's okay.
Yeah, I live with him.
So 5 artists. Okay, so. Oh damn. Goddamn. Okay. Twisted. Twisted definitely is a huge influence to me. Has been my whole life. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Nope.
Oh
No.
my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I didn't think. I didn't think any of you guys were close to juggalos. But
Nope.
No.
But
Tech 9's about the closest thing I am to a juggalo.
Oh my.
okay, but if you have something against ICP and you think like that's what it is, that is not. Twisted is not like that. They were under psychopathic with ICP, but they are not like that. They don't make music like that. Like you should definitely look them up because I know. But yeah, just look them up. I'm not saying you'll like them. Okay, I've been listening to them for like 16 years, like my whole life. Well, more so or less. But so Twisted. My favorite band. I shouldn't say my favorite band, but my favorite band, like in general, growing up, was Motley Crue.
Okay.
They played a huge influence on me, more so in the fact of like, every band was going nuts back then. You know, sex, drugs, rock and roll. But Motley Crue was doing it all.
Did you see the documentary they had of them on Netflix?
Yeah, The Dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good.
But it was more so like the sense of like they were the bad boys of rock and roll. Like they just didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They face fucked all those categories:
Oh,
sex, drugs, rock and roll. They did all that. I'm sorry, I know it's like super graphic, but I'm just saying, like out of all those people, like those bands were going nuts back then. Those guys. I mean, dude, Nikki Sixx literally was pronounced dead, and then he wasn't dead.
He wasn't dead.
And then he's
They hit him with 2 shots of adrenaline and he just came back like, hello, what's up? No, but, so Twisted, Motley Crue, what?
About to have a problem here. Just don't pay attention to me. I'm not good. I'm good.
Okay, so, Twisted, Motley Crue, I'm a huge Hobson fan, definitely. I was messing with him before, like, I think it was like Dark Side of the Moon when he came out with that mixtape. Like, before Raw came out. Because, like, I know a lot of people came along when Raw came out. But, like,
when I found him.
Yeah, but I was listening to him, the album before that. And then everybody was like, I remember when I first started listening to them, and everybody thought he was going to be like a blip. They're like, oh, yeah, whatever. It's like, he's going to be cool for, like, now. And then now it's like 2021 and Hobson's like still one of the high ranking, you know, artists that come to mind. Can I put 2 people together because they were on the
Go
same
for it,
label?
man. Yeah.
Okay, so Tech9 and Chris Calico.
Okay.
I love those guys. I'm gonna be honest, I don't listen to Tech9 as religiously as I used to. Just because, not anything against him, but it's literally because what he literally said himself. He became too good.
Mm-hmm.
He got to a point where he reached, you know, same thing with Eminem. He reached that point where it's like, well, who's my competition now? Everybody knows you can rap fast. You've been doing it for 20 plus years. We've heard all the songs, all the, you know.
All the fast flows you could make. Like, there's not many left.
At that point, no matter what, you're always going to be your own competition. But at that point, you really are your own competition.
And you're fighting against your past stuff that you
Yeah.
might not be able to top. Because it's
Yeah.
good.
And not only that, but like when you get so good, you get to a point where it's like, well, we've heard it. We've heard it already. You put yourself in a box. And I'm not calling Tech9 like a box, dude, because that guy...
We're about to have some Tech9 CJ Beretta beef.
No, I'm not. No. I'm just saying, I feel like anyone who is a true fan would agree. Like, I'm a true fan of him. I love his music. I think his vision is amazing. I think the fact that he has blended so many different genres is amazing. The fact that he is at his age and still elite as hell, you know? And I'm not saying like you lose it with time, but I'm saying too, like I was saying earlier before we went on the show, like when it comes to this craft of rap, okay, there's people that come along and they're cool for a while and then nobody cares anymore. And then there's like the diehards who've been pushing, they've been busting ass their whole life to get recognized and they try to keep bettering themselves and evolving. When I think of rap music and the fact that to the common listener of rap, everybody thinks like it's been around forever, but it hasn't. It's only been around for like what, like 46 years or something? 46, 47?
47 this year.
Yeah, I
right?
think it was 47 this year.
Yeah.
Hip hop's been around for 47 years, okay? That's only a couple decades. Okay, like that's a long span of time, but I'm just saying like it's a very short period of time for how long music's been around. So like the fact that I love this craft so much because when it comes to being an artist in this craft, it is very hard to find longevity, to be able to stay up with the time, to stay relevant, to keep bringing in new people. Look at all these artists that have had eras of fans. Like, okay, like Eminem when we were growing up, okay, he came out in the 90s. When we were growing up, everyone back then was a Slim Shady fan, saw all that, Slim Shady, D12, all that, Marshall Mathers, all that. Now we've grown older, and like a lot of, I'm not saying, I don't know about your guys' lives in general, but like a lot of us have families now, or kids, and everybody's listening now, and it's a new generation, and all the generations that have come since then, like when I look at this, that's what is most important to me. Is like, I'll never care if I don't have a single fan, or if someone doesn't feel me, because I love to do this is my passion. But like, in creating fan base, if I am able to get to the end of my life or whenever I decide to hang it up and say, okay, well, thanks for having me, I want to know that that I had longevity, that I was able to stay up to date. I'm not saying I want to change, like every time something comes along, like I'll never conform like that. I'm a true lyricist, and that's what I wish we could also get back to. I have nothing against the evolution of this craft and, people doing their own thing, but like I wish we could also get back to the lyricist part of this, that we got into.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, I know
That's-
you asked
that's
one
fine.
question,
No,
but
it's
like
fine.
I just
It
get.
gets really deep.
I'm sorry,
Um,
I get super deep.
You're talking about longevity, going back to the past and everything. What did your first setup look like? What DAW did you use with your equipment? What did that all look
Oh
like?
my god. Okay, so little short story before I get to that. The first thing I told this story the last interview that I did, but the first memory I have of anything music wise in my head is me like, I think I was like 3-4 years old, and I was always running around screaming, singing. So I don't know if it was my mom or my dad. Someone took a toilet paper roll, took a bunch of like the ads that come in the mail.
yeah.
Took a bunch of that, crumpled it up, shoved it in there, and then duct taped it and poked holes in it. And then like colored the toilet paper roll part of it. And I was running around with like this makeshift microphone, just screaming. Like,
So that was your first piece of equipment.
yeah,
that was the first.
and I was
that
probably
the first setup right
like
there.
naked in a pull up or something, running around with this thing. So yeah, like 3-4 years old, and then like my mom was talking to me yesterday about because I grew up a huge Michael Jackson fan, and regardless of what people feel about him or I grew up a huge fan of him. He was like probably one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
He's
like,
literally the king of entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Quite
like,
literally.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because I know because of different things people have their views on him. So like, but like I grew up a huge fan of him, and my mom was talking to me the other day, and like she used to like where one of the early childhood houses I lived in. I lived upstairs at the top of the staircase, and like I used to have a stereo, and I used to be playing my music, and my mom, she was talking to me the other day about how she remembers me, like, she'd hear my music, like, just blaring, and she'd come over and see me, like, dancing, like, across just a little part that she could see of me. She'd see, like, my feet, probably me trying to do a moonwalk or something. I was like, and remember that one time I tried to do the moonwalk and literally came right out of my socks? Like, I was, like, trying to do it and came right out of my socks, I think I made a mixtape in the 5th grade,
Oh wow.
and this was back still with cassettes, and we had a karaoke machine, and it had that double deck, the 2 decks in it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with how people used to do this, but you put the beat tape in one side, and then you put the clean tape in the other side, and then you would press play on this side and press record on the other side, and then it was so distorted and sounded like shit, but literally if you had it at the right volume, you could literally have the beat coming out of the speaker while you were rapping to these beat tapes.
And it would record the beat then onto the...
Yeah,
Yep.
it would record it onto the clean tape. So you'd have the beat tape on one side and the clean tape on the other
I'm
side.
glad we've come as far as we have.
Yeah, that sounds like a little
shit.
rough.
I'm not saying people did that. I'm saying that's what I did. Like I made do with what I had. I'm
Yeah.
not saying professional people
No.
were out here like, all right, mic check 1 2.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so that was like the first thing, and then I've obviously
So no DAW. It was just a cassette player, and then the cassette player, you're playing the beat with the clean tape, and that's how you made your first track.
Yeah, and that was like really early. That, like I said, that was like 5th grade, and then I got older and finally got a microphone. Like, well, oh no, before the microphone, then it was the I used to make songs on my laptop just with the. At first, before I actually got a mic, it was just a laptop microphone that was built into the microphone.
Oh, Skype level.
Yeah. And then I've had homies that have done it with gamer sets.
That's my
That's
first
him,
song.
yeah.
Yes!
On a gaming headset.
Gaming headset, man. I've had people with the one earbud because the other one's broken. They're like listening to the song and then trying to meet it on point. But but I've had stuff everywhere. I finally got a mic, and then I had a closet studio. I used a pantry. I drilled a hole inside of a cupboard in one of the places I lived in, and put it up in there, and then tacked comforter or a blanket on the inside to dampen it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to live I used to live with my buddy Biggie White. I used to live in his closet on a mattress, which was also our studio. So like the studio
You
was
lived at the studio?
the studio was in the closet, and I had a mattress on the floor. That's all I had.
That's
I was literally living inside of my studio. And then finally this past year is finally when I got like my first real like professional studio setup. All thanks to her.
Hell yeah.
So I guess
Nice.
that kind of moves us into the present a bit. What are you currently using with your DAW and equipment?
I use Studio One. There's Prizm Studio One. There's like 5 of them. I'm not really sure, or is it just Studio One?
Yeah, you just have Studio One, but
Yeah.
they have add-ons. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and I got a bunch of different plugins
Mhm.
that I can't even describe how many I have.
There's a lot.
It takes I have so much stuff in my program. When we turn on the computer, it takes forever.
Yeah, we went out and bought a gaming computer.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta stop that auto boot up. So that way
Yeah,
you can
you
just
gotta-
load up and open what you need.
Or just get rid of all the shit you don't need.
And then like literally when I go to turn on the program, it like does that scan thing where it like does that screen. It's like and it's like showing you all the stuff that is like loading into it.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is super dope that I have all this, but I don't even know what half this shit is yet, and I still don't. Like to this day, I'll read the list and I'm like, I don't even know what that is, but it's on there. I got it.
There's a
So,
lot.
do you enjoy making music as CJ Beretta or Northwoods Killer more?
Well, probably like I said, like I was saying earlier, with like I love the fact that I have so many different things I feel, and that I'm able to create outlets, or let alone another alias to do so. So like I enjoy making music as all of the people that I am, whether it be Northwoods Killer, CJ Beretta, all my past people I was. It's all the way up to now. Like they were all different eras of me, but they all still were me, and whatever comes after that as well, like will obviously be a part of me, but something maybe I'm just specifically trying to be directed with. So I mean, I can't really say which one I like more. I don't think I like one more either than the other, because they're different genres within the genre. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. That
like,
makes sense.
so yeah, so
Is there something you've been specifically working on recently in terms of your music?
Yes. Obviously, I've been progressively coming out with singles when I can because it's still a costly thing to do by yourself. So I'm not cool like all these other people who just are able to just mix their songs on the whim and not have to pay for it, you know. But I'm trying to learn. Nothing against those people either. I'm not talking any shit to anyone out there or on here. Like if you mix your own music, that's super dope. But I'm just now starting to finally get into that now that I have a program where I can actually really learn for real how to do it. But besides the singles that I come out with because I write so much, I'm working on my album right now, E-Moth with Black Sage. I think we're like 4 songs deep that are all done already.
How many songs are going to be there?
At first, it started off. The original idea was E-Moth was like I said, how I said I have so many different groups. E-Moth was actually going to be me and Gage's rap duo, like 2 years ago, and then because he's emo and I'm goth, and so it's have emo, have goth.
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah. So now that you get that, now you know. No, I'm just kidding. But so yeah, I finally decided for us to do that, and it was gonna be an EP at first. We were just gonna put out a couple of songs, dabble, see if anyone liked it or not, and then we'd pick it up from there. But then we went into recording, which you saw, and we just went off. We had so many beats, and we just were writing left and right, and it went from an EP, and then we're like, well, I guess we're making an album. And then it got to this point where I was like, well, it should be fair. We should each be able to pick a certain amount of beats for each half of it. So it's going to be like a 2-parter. Not a 2-part album, but like a 2 different style type album. So we each have to come out of our comfort zone. We have a very same style, but like we both sing too and we do it differently. So like I wanted to create something where it pushed us. So we had to like, you know, had to actually come out of our comfort zone for like, you know, because we listen to different people. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to hear that if that's how you guys are going to be approaching it, stepping out of each other's comfort zone to go into the other one. That'll be a cool listen to, and I hope you guys pull it off really well.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out. I'm super excited about it. I have no distinctive when it's going to come out because, like I said, we're literally paying for all this out of pocket. So, like, we still need to finish all the songs and then get them all mixed and buy all the beats, obviously, and then get to the part where, you know, you start going, well, okay, how are we marketing this? Are we going to come out with physical copies? Are we going to come out with merch? Like, you know. And like me, I like putting images on things, so there's going to be merch. So, plus, I was talking about it, I was like, well, if I'm coming out with an album, you know damn well I'm going to have a physical copy. It's my album. Be like, this is mine.
Yeah, of course. I think we're going to get into the social media deep dive now, and we're just going to get into Instagram right away. Now, there's a lot to unpack. I think I'm going to shorten it a little bit.
Yeah.
But currently, when I was writing this, you had 555 posts on Instagram, 212 followers. And I scrolled all the way down. Your first post was May 13th, 2019. And then I kept scrolling up a little bit, and then July 23rd, 2019, you posted a picture of 3 broken ribs. How did this happen?
Oh, all right. Well, I shouldn't have did that. Okay. So my broken ribs. This is a funny story. We went to Mount Olympus.
Oh God.
And no, this wasn't this time. That was
shit.
the first time. Yeah, that's.
Well,
Well, now we screwed up the punchline to the whole joke. Okay, no. Okay, so this is before me and her got together, but I went with some buddies, my niece and her boyfriend, and anyways, we went to Mount Olympus. We literally got there at like 10 o'clock in the morning. We literally get inside, And the first thing we do was like, okay, are we doing rides or like we gonna wait to do rides? Well, we end up going on the roller coaster, which I've also been on tons of times because it's the Dells and everyone's been to Mount Olympus like
Right.
5 bajillion times.
Yeah.
If you're from around here. So I was like, all right, let's go on the roller coaster. So we go on the roller coaster, and obviously, if you don't know Mount Olympus has like the old school wooden roller coasters. So, so we get to the end, and you know how they have that emergency brake where they stop really fast? Like you go from like 80 miles an hour to just 0. Well, I'm like 6 foot, so like I was in there, and they have that bar that goes like right here. And we went from like however fast we were going to a dead stop. And when we did that, it ended up breaking my ribs.
Oh my
Did you not sue Mount Olympus?
Okay.
I feel like you definitely could have got something out of that. Like
Okay.
you definitely could have got some money.
This is how high of a pain tolerance I have. I didn't know I broke my ribs. So I broke 3 ribs. And this was at the beginning, like just when we just got inside. We haven't even done the day.
Do you
yet.
not notice like when you breathe? I feel like you have one broken rib. You breathe in once, you're gonna know. He's like,
No, because I
First
was like a very I was a hockey player
Okay.
my whole life. So like for like 16 years. So I've literally had so many injuries. I have such a high pain tolerance. Like I'm not saying like I'm unaware of my pain, but like
You're like, gosh, just a
Hey,
bar on
Ace
my
Wild
side.
in the chat.
yes, hit me up, dude. Hit me up. I'm trying to work. Let me know what's up.
Hell
I
yeah.
love Ace Wild. Yeah, but anyway, so that's like the beginning of the day. So then we get off, we go to the wave pool, doing the wave pool thing, you know, Poseidon's Rage,
Swallow
whatever,
some water.
Hate the wave pool.
you know. Okay, now, you guys know that fucking body swing they have?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's fun.
Okay, so then I end up doing that, okay? And I still don't know I have broken ribs. Then we get to so I end up doing that. There's a video of me, and I'm literally singing, and I'm free falling. And I'm free. Literally while I'm doing it. There's a video of it. But then we get to the end of the day, and then finally it's like right when we're about to start walking, and I keep talking about it because I'm like, because obviously I felt pain when it happened, but like I didn't know I broke anything. And you're like, you don't know that you got like 3
I
broken
just feel like
ribs.
you breathe in and your lungs expand. You
Yeah.
feel that.
Okay, so like I feel a discomfort and pain, but it didn't
Yep.
feel like, you know. And then and then I'm walking, and like slowly, progressively throughout the day, I just started to get this huge, fucking bruise. And I'm like, dude, okay, this is really fucked up, dude. Okay, well, what's really messed up was the day before that, Rapids had a huge, fucking huge storm that took out like everything, so no one had power in the town for like over a week. Like there was trees down, it was nuts. And so then I end up breaking my ribs. So then we end up coming back home, and I'm like, okay, I need to go to the doctor, like for real, like this is bad, like something's probably bad, and I'm stupid, and I always get injured, and then it's way worse than it actually is, than I thought it was. Like at this point, I'm sitting there thinking like I'm probably bleeding internally, and I just dropped like 120 some feet on a body swing, and like so we. And then so in the car, I end up ripping a fucking t-shirt to make like a sling because it doesn't hurt as much when I hold my arm like this in that moment. So then we end up dropping off my knees, and we go to the hospital, and I walk in, and this was before like COVID, thank God, because I would have probably killed somebody. But I walk in, and this lady's all like, she's like, welcome to da-da-da, and she's like, what can I help you with? And I go, I'm here to get checked out. I'm pretty sure I have like broken bones. Like I'm pretty sure I broke my ribs. And she goes, sir, how do you know that you broke your ribs? And I go like this. I was like, does this fucking clarify it enough for you? I was like, does this look normal? I was like, and to this day, if I took my shirt off, which I won't, but if to this day,
Good, thank you.
they still stick out. Like
Yeah.
these ones stick out. Okay, so Fast forward, funny little thing to this story. So I end up telling her about this when we get together. So then this past summer, we ended up going to Mount Olympus. Okay?
Why would you go back there?
Okay.
After
He had a good time, I guess.
So
for the
we
first
ended up
part.
going to Mount
Really?
Olympus because
You didn't know
He
it's
went on the
bad.
body swing, bro.
Yeah.
Of course he had a good time.
because it was COVID and they were running that super sick deal because
like
no.
$10. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah, 4
dumb.
people.
Yeah, it was
Oh
like
my
$8
gosh.
bucks. It
Something
was
like
like
that.
$28 for like 4 people.
Damn, and this is the
It
year I
wasn't all the
didn't
way
go.
open,
First
though.
year I had.
But yeah, but it wasn't completely
Fuck
all the way
Mount
open. So we ended up going there just cause, and literally, we're there. We just get there, and all my friends and even her say that I jinxed myself. I was like, the last time I went to this place, I fucking got 3 broken ribs. And we get there, and
Don't tell me you went on the same roller coaster right away.
no, we
Okay.
didn't even go on a roller coaster. We get there, we go in the wave pool, and we're doing the waves. All of a sudden,
First mistake.
all of a sudden, I end up getting kicked by this kid
He
right
comes
in the
flying.
ribs. Broke the same ribs.
Oh,
Yeah.
God
Right
damn.
at the beginning,
No
too, is
way.
the first thing they did.
Not only that, what's even more funnier about it is besides the 2 rib breaking incidents, back when I was younger and we went there, I went in the wave pool. This was back when my grandfather was still alive. I ended up getting kneed in the face in the pool and broke my nose. I should
Just stop
not.
going to Mount Olympus.
Yeah, we're done.
Just stop going to Mount Olympus. I don't understand why you'd go second or
So
third
much
time.
money.
Go to Noah's Ark.
Don't even go to Noah's Ark. Just stay home, bro. Jesus Christ. And then scrolling through your Instagram more, I see December 2nd is a pretty important day for you. You lost somebody special, your best friend and your older brother. My condolences. I'm sorry for your loss, of course. I just want to know what's one of your best memories with your older brother?
Our family has always been very, I would say, diverse, but also we're a broken family, but like we're a very solidified family. It's like the concept of like we can talk shit about each other, but like if you talk about one of us, we're all rolling. Up.
Yeah.
Hopefully
That
the
is
common.
family, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That is
Hopefully-
family.
Hopefully the common thing that happens amongst most families, but I know not everyone has that. But even in our dysfunction, like we're still like that. But after my parents split up, when I was like, I think I was like 15 or 16. It was like, I don't remember. I don't need to get into that because I'll get off track. But when my parents split up, so my dad was gone. At first I was with my dad, and then my sister went off with my mom. And then like months along the way, I ended up going away. And then I ended up going with my mom too, along with my sister. Well, when my dad and them split up, my brother ended up coming around, and he played a big part in my life in like the rest of my teen years. Because I didn't really have like a male role model. And I'm also not saying that my brother was the greatest male role model because he drank a lot and he was drunk a lot and but he cared enough to be around. So obviously he's like the person who gave me my first beer and just like all that stuff. But I wouldn't say I have like a direct memory that like I really hold near and dear.
You guys didn't go to Mount Olympus together or anything?
No. No, I
I'm
think
fucking
what I hold near and dear more than anything was like that time period, like our conversations. Like we would sit outside in the garage and smoke cigarettes and just have talks. And like even though my mom would freak out when I'd end up walking in drunk or something, you're buzzed, it played a big. It was really big for me because I didn't have anyone anymore. Like I had my dad. I'm not like trying to talk shit about my dad either. Not like, oh, dad walked out or something. Like it wasn't even like that. It was just in that time frame, when you're 16 and all of a sudden this thing that was so normal to you ends up splitting apart right in that age frame where you're super, hormonal and angsty and like 1 second you're blaming one person, the next second you're blaming the other, but like you grow up to realize like, hey, not everything works out and like you need to chill the fuck out, okay? Stop listening to Slim Shady albums. Sitting in your room being stand against your parents and shit. Palm sweating.
Yeah. Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. But yeah, like he definitely was my best friend. Like he brought his go for it. 3 months after he died, I ended up getting signed for the first time. Now, obviously, that went down a shithole road too, along with, all that mainstream bullshit. And I ended up doing this independent. Obviously, that's what it's become today. But just like knowing that in my head, like I took it so seriously that even 3 months after his death, like I got signed. But obviously, that wasn't in the cards, and I'm doing it on my own now. But yeah.
So going back to a little bit of a lighter note, I guess. You also post about your wife, of course, and you both look very happy. How and when did you guys meet? This is a test. We're testing for you.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, I know. No, we've actually known of each other for years. And, like, I wouldn't say, like, we were, like, fucking diehard close, but, like, we talked amongst each other for, like, years. Like, we were, like, Facebook mutual friends because an ex-friend of mine was with her before I was. But I wouldn't say, like, a friend. It was more like a person I grew up with. And, well, I'm not going to get too deep into that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
But, anyway. But anyway, we knew of each other and we talked a lot. And then I ended up coming out of a really shitty-ass relationship last year. And I ended up coming back home. And I had left Wisconsin a couple times for various reasons, whether a girl or I'm going to do this and you just watch me do it. And it never fucking happened, or like it failed, or I ran out of money and went broke and had to run back home, or so like I've had a lot of those instances. And this last time that happened, it was a really shitty situation, and I ended up being with a very toxic person who I couldn't fucking stand anymore, and I got into a really dark headspace, and I literally got a hold of my buddies, Black Sage and Biggie White.
We hadn't been talking because he wasn't allowed to talk.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. The entire time we were together, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we had no history. But the entire time I was with this chick, she was obsessively compulsive over her, liking my shit. And she wasn't, like, being, like, a home wrecker or anything. It wasn't like she was, like, commenting, like, knowing I was with someone.
There's never been anything like that. Maybe. Not one time.
What? What?
Oh, just keep going.
Okay, this is what happens when
So
you
in other words, you were a homewrecker at some point?
No, that's not what I meant. Keep going.
No. But, so yeah, there was like this big beef with her, and I didn't even have history with her at all. Well, then, fast forward, I like hit up my dude, and I'm like, dude, I need to come home, because I was in Branson, Missouri, but I was stuck there, and I had no way to get home, and I was with this girl and her psycho-ass fucking mom, and I was like, dude, someone needs to fucking come get me, or like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, I really was for real. Like, I was in such a dark headspace, and my boy ended up driving 16 hours. Not only that, but we planned it. She didn't even know I was leaving.
Oh.
She's like, we had been getting in fights and whatnot, whatever, and he ends up coming. We set up this whole thing. I didn't bring anything with me. Like, I lost everything, and I've done that a couple times in my life, where I've had to completely start over fresh. And all I had was, like, some stuff in, like, this cooler. It was like one of those like fabric coolers, not like the hard ones, but like they look like a lunchbox.
Yeah.
Like with a Velcro top on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all I had was what was in there. And then we ended up coming back home. I ended up stopping off at my mom's, who lives in South Beloit, picked up my car that I had left there for like a couple months, came back home, and when I came off the exit, I knew where she lived, because my homie used to live there before she lived there, and that's where I used to make music. And I was like, I just needed to talk to somebody. And I ended up coming into her driveway at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Went up there, knocked on the door. Nobody answered. Then I started coming to my head. I'm like, what? Like, I don't even know what's going on in her life. Like, what if I'm knocking on the door and some like angry ass dude? Who the fuck is you, man? Like, you know. So I didn't want to be disrespectful to whatever was going on in her life. But I was like knocking because I was like, I had nowhere to go, but I didn't want to tell anyone I was coming back home because I didn't want to be like the fucking, you know, the joke of the party again, you know. So tried to get a hold of her. She didn't come out. Then I tried to go across town to a buddy's house. He wasn't there, or at least I thought he wasn't. He never told me that his car blew up. So there was no car in the driveway, but he was home, but I didn't know because I knew he had an Audi, and I was like, well, where the fuck's the Audi at? And the Audi wasn't there, so I just thought he was at work. So then I go all the way back across town, back to her house.
Jesus.
And my phone's dying. It's like 26 degrees out. I have no heat in this car.
Yeah.
And I just basically texted her. I was like, okay, well, this is the whole situation. I just need to talk to someone. If you wake up and there's somebody in your driveway and you don't know who it is, it's me. But when you do wake up, please, if you could allow me inside, that'd be great.
I'm fucking cold.
I'm fucking cold. So then I like pulled myself into my shirt and like tied my hood. And I'm just like sitting there and I fall asleep. And when I wake up, I know I'm literally in the beginning stages of hypothermia because I'm sweating, but I'm cold.
Oh.
Like I'm freezing. Well, apparently she had a friend over.
Yeah.
One of her friends was there. He literally wakes up, goes outside. There's a whole ass other fucking car in the driveway, which is me. Okay? But I obviously wasn't there when you were inside last night. Okay? So he wakes up, goes outside, starts his car, goes back inside, comes back out, leaves.
It never said a thing about
Never
it.
said a word.
Never said a
Only
word.
left it for death.
Never said a word. Well, obviously, this dude didn't know me, but like, dude, if you wake up and you go outside and you're at your friend's house and there's someone parked in the fucking driveway, you're not gonna go tell your friend? Hey, there's someone
doesn't
parked
know
in the
what
driveway.
business.
Shit, he didn't say anything. Well, then I wake up, ended up texting my brother. I had like 2% left. I was fucking freezing. I was hungry as hell, and I was tired, and I wanted to lay down because I had been in a car for like 16 hours. So I get a hold of him. I'm like, hey man, I'm like, wherever you're at, can I come? He's like, yeah. So then I drive all the way to Rapids, go to his place. He ends up giving me taquitos.
All right.
And what's super funny about it is his girlfriend at the time. She was a Hmong, but she was making taquitos. But she had always made like I'm not trying to be like, you know, but made like their cuisine, their stuff, you know, like egg rolls. So it's so funny when she handed me taquitos. Not saying that you can't eat them, but it was so weird because I just hadn't slept and I was like,
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, taquitos, and they taste like ass. But anyway, so then I'm about to go to sleep. All of a sudden, she wakes up, and she's like, literally the first thing she said to me was, what? Literally, it was just WH and like a bunch of A's. And then all of a sudden, I guess she probably read everything, and she's like, are you still outside? Because she was probably back in her room, so she wasn't out
on the
front.
couch.
Oh.
Which surprised me because you said you knocked, but obviously you didn't knock very hard because I was right on the couch.
He was tired and cold.
Well,
You know?
there's like
only knocks so hard.
all my friends are felons, dude. You can't cop knock on a door at 3 o'clock in the morning. Wake up!
FBI, open up.
Oh god.
No, so
At least
like,
would have got her out of bed though.
yeah, that probably would have worked though. But yeah, so then all of a sudden she texts me and she's like, "Are you still outside?" I was like, "No," and then I ended up just calling her and then literally the joke of our whole relationship is she got me to come there for French toast. She's like, if you come back, I'll make you French toast. And I was like, fuck yeah, 'cause I'm hungry.
Not this taquito type shit.
Yeah, and I ended up going there and I ended up explaining everything and then we just never just been together ever since. We never split apart. Like, it was just meant to be. It was just supposed to happen, and we crossed paths. That was not the plan either. I know, but it was weird because I know that a lot of people, they're like, oh, so you just ended up back home and just ended up in a relationship like that fast?
You know what's weird is about 4 times I tried to get him to come over, like, you know, and he just totally ignored it. And I was like, well, shit, man, you know?
I wasn't reading it right.
He did.
And we're like a power couple. We're just meant to be together. We're just.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Like I said, you guys look very happy together in all the pictures and everything.
Thank you.
And it's nice you guys have the same aesthetic, you know. You guys
Yeah.
are both goth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's next for CJ Beretta and Northwoods Killer? Where do you see yourself in your music in like 5 years?
5 years. I hope I'm super established by then. I hope to, in 5 years, a goal. Well, if we're basing a goal, I don't like to like say anything and not be able to deliver, but I would really hope within 5 years that not only am I established and doing more with my craft and building a buzz and, you know, stuff like that, but I hope to possibly have like my own, like I have my own label, but I hope to maybe have, I think a goal of mine would be like a location, like a studio, like an actual address like you guys got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to have my own space for other people to come in and be able to, you know, make music themselves and just, I don't know, I guess just be further along than what I am now. I hope I touch different areas of music and try new things and evolve more. That's all I hope for, is the evolution of me.
I got you. So in the future, when you do become that established name and you blow up, if you could pick anybody to have a feature on one of your songs, any artist, what would be your go-to feature?
Twisted.
Yeah. All right. Easy peasy.
That was
there we
quick.
go.
All
I like
right.
that.
Yeah.
We're gonna come to the end of the show now, and first thing I'm gonna ask is, how would you rate this interview out of 1 out of 10? How would you rate it?
It's definitely an 11 because you did the yo thing.
Hey, all right. That's good. Yo.
Yes!
Got 2.
Woo, freebie.
And then I guess, we'll just kind of give you the mic. If you have anything you want to talk about specifically or anything you want to ask either of us individually or us as a whole, go ahead. So you're the host now.
Ooh. Well, I guess I know the whole basis of how this all started, but like, what really made y'all like? I know you started off with Prizm. You were just trying to help out your buddy, but like, what really made you guys like go like, hey, we're on something here. Like, maybe we could really be the voice of like.
When we first started this, we only thought we were gonna get like 15 artists, and we're gonna be like, perfect. We got music to play. That's all we need. And then we started getting more and more, and then we had people actually messaging us about it, and we're like, okay, yeah, this can be it.
Yeah, I think when the first artist reached out to us, it was kind of a turning point of like, oh, okay, like,
When
it's not just
Skitscrappin'
us.
replied.
Yeah, there was a couple points, but like when they were reaching out to us, it was like, okay, like this has some meaning here. Like people actually are wanting to be a part of this. Like it showed that like there was something that was missing within the community of like Wisconsin as a whole. Hip hop is such a big genre that nobody was representing it. And as much of a joke it might sound to be Wisconsin hip hop, like there's a lot of talent that we've discovered that
Facts.
we knew
Yes.
other people needed to hear.
Facts.
And just that's, I guess, when it really kind of came to like when we were helping Prizm, I think it was that we all lived together, really helped push that idea and make it actually come to fruition, because if we didn't see each other every day for a couple months, like it would probably fell apart and
Yeah.
it never would have happened.
Yeah.
So being just so close to each other for that long in the beginning process is what kind of solidified of like, yeah, let's keep doing this. And then once we got those artists reaching out to us and people listening, we're like, okay, let's keep doing this, not just for us or Prizm, but everybody as a whole.
That's so awesome.
Well, speaking on that makes me want to say what I was saying earlier, as in the sense before everything happened, was I just really want you guys to understand that, like, and I know I don't know how old you guys are.
22.
21.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, we're older than you guys. So I just want to let you know that I'm forever going to be a kid. Like, I'm forever going to be that angsty.
With double D's?
Not anymore. I don't got the double D's
With the
anymore.
double D?
But no, but I'm forever gonna be like young and young at heart and young in my mind. So like I just want to let you guys know, like from the bottom of my heart as an artist, like no matter how many people play us or play different artists that come through here, like this is amazing.
It is.
Like
Thank you.
the fact that you guys created something for our area that everyone seems to, like I was stating on the radio last week when I was on my interview, because they're from
Missouri.
they're from Missouri, so they don't know like Wisconsin directly.
Mhm.
So I was explaining it like I'm like, bro, Central Wisconsin, people drive past us and don't even know they did.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like, okay, and I know like we all live in different towns, like West and Wausau, you know, like Stevens Point, Plover, all these different places, but like Central Wisconsin in a whole, people are on this highway, they have no idea that they are just passing town after town. Like, and
like a blur.
like
Yeah.
Central Wisconsin is an area that like just Wisconsin in general, like I said, like besides Madison and like Milwaukee, like they have nothing for hip hop around here. We're not hip hop around here. We're like pop country.
Yeah. Cool.
Like,
If not cover bands, we're definitely cover
and
bands.
there's nothing against that either, because all of us, well, I don't know how you guys grew up, but I know I grew up like backwoods as hell, obviously, from where I come from. So even though I look like this, dude, I could still hang out with all those people because I grew up like that.
Fires
just
in
like
the backwoods and
Just like how I
figures
said I have
everywhere.
music like
Oh,
Upchurch, man. Like, just because I look like this doesn't mean I don't mess with that. Like, I love Upchurch. I love the Georgia Boys. I love, you know,
Oh, yeah, we could dance.
like all those guys. Struggle Jennings, fucking Yellow Wolf, all of them. Because I relate to stuff like that. Like when Yellow Wolf came out, hell yeah. I was like, a
Hell
dude
yeah.
that raps, looks like a rock star, but he's country and backwoods as hell. That's like literally
Yeah.
where I come from. So, but I just wanted to let you guys know, like, I wish I would have had something like this, like when I was growing up, when I first started. Because if I would have had somewhere to go, or just to get my name out there, or possibly get a hold of someone, you know. And I'm not saying that it doesn't bring more to me, that, like, you know, I love the fact that I've had to work for everything that I have. But, like, I'm just glad that now, like, they have something like
Well,
this.
the fact that you guys are giving people that do this kind of genre a voice, you know,
Yeah,
around
collecting it all.
here. You are. It's a big thing. And,
And not even just a
appreciate it,
radio
man.
show
Cool.
or a podcast.
Cool.
Oh, God. Not even just a website, but the fact that like you guys have daily radio, you're playing all of us. You guys do interviews, you do podcasts, you got your merch, and you're constantly making yo videos.
And you're so young.
I'm never gonna live the yo down.
No, I love it. It's your new tagline.
Fuck.
Good t-shirt,
I was gonna
man.
say t-shirt.
Gotta make a garke
You
t-shirt.
could be try-yo.
Yo.
Let's not get back into that.
No, but just like the fact that you guys, I know you guys are doing all this out of your own pocket. So like the fact that you guys are literally putting on for us and every artist that comes through these doors, regardless of how small or big they are, regardless of where your guys' setup is, like this is dope because like not everybody has this, and the fact that you guys are using your own time to literally get all of our voices out there to other people, like that means a lot to me, just as an artist. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
It's kind of our goal is to make sure that we're pushing the artists and that they're happy with how we're doing it. So that's great feedback. That we're
And I
getting
just
as well.
hope like you guys get to a level where it's like insane, because
Oh,
like
no.
you guys can
So
look
young.
back on it and be like, you guys literally became the voice of Central Wisconsin. And I hope you guys
in your
get
own
to that
big,
point.
huge studio, you know,
You know,
which you will be. You guys
just like
are-
I'm saying, I hope this isn't the last. I hope to be back here again too.
Hell yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to. Y'all hit me up, dude. We can have cookouts and hang out.
Really good cook.
Get a CW cookout going.
See,
Front
dude,
door.
CWHipHop
you guys
Podcast.
see,
Oh,
we
my
should
God.
get
Invite
all the
artists.
artists.
That'd be a great-
We should get all the
That would be
artists.
great.
That
Okay, we
actually
should.
would be good,
Okay,
to be
oh my God,
honest.
okay,
Damn, we could do it
brainstorm.
literally right there.
Dude, we could literally have
Wheels
an
and
event, right? A
shit.
CWHipHop event where if we could get enough of us artists to put in money for it, to pitch in for it, we could do a CW hip hop show with like artists.
We have all
from
the equipment
station.
already.
Mm-hmm.
We literally have microphones,
We got
the
enough
mixer board, all that. We have everything.
And
Yo, Garke, get on it.
We just need an outlet, bro.
Okay, get on it. We should have an event.
We'll call it the CWHipHop Burnout.
Actually, I liked
Just
what you were
put a bunch
where
of
you
stuff there.
CW hip hop or hip out.
The hip out.
CW hip hop.
Goodness. We'll work on the naming in a bit.
wait, are we gonna be inviting a bunch of old people?
Hip out.
No, we could literally
No,
promote
they'll
the
be at
station with
living
the
home.
artists. Like, I'm sure a lot of these artists that come through here would love to come. Like, I mean, unless like people are like, "Hey man, I need like this much money." Like, I would come out just for the love, dude. Just for the love of you guys putting me out there. Like, I'd come and perform for free. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Have everybody do a song or two, and then oh
And
yeah.
then just be chilling, having a cookout.
Next year, it's getting a little.
Yeah,
It's getting a little cold now,
A
yeah.
little cold
Facts,
now,
that's
so.
facts.
But wait, we got
We
time
can
for
have a
next summer.
pinata made of Garke's head.
Oh,
Okay.
You hit it. it says
I
yo-yo.
get first dibs. I get first
I get
dibs.
first dibs. The fuck?
No.
Nobody hates me more than me.
Oh shit.
I live with you.
I don't care. I don't care. So you got anything else for us?
Anything you want to shout out? You got
You
in
wanna
the
shout
works
out
here
or
coming
promote,
up.
or-
People should be aware of.
Obviously, there's the album coming out, E-Month. I have no direct date, but it is definitely coming soon. Want to give a shout out to my girl and my homeboys and my family and everybody that rocks with me, you guys. Want to thank you for allowing me to come on the show. And I think this is going to become like a go-to for me, but I just want to give a shout out to all my fans and all my haters, because without the haters, there was no fuel, and without you fans, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I just want to thank everybody for that.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the sidewalks for keeping me off the street.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I
I'm
always
glad
go
you were
down.
able to make the drive and get in for the interview. Had a great time.
Yeah, I'm
Kinda know who you are as an artist.
super my bad on being late. I'm usually not late.
It's okay. We had
It's
more
always the
issues
woman.
with power.
I was. I couldn't.
I'm just glad you were cool about it, because I know some people could be like, hey man, if you're not fucking here.
I mean, the live
It.
show is usually more going through the topics and stuff that we
Yeah, I
have.
got a
Whereas,
couple
like,
that
the
wasn't-
pod is
yeah,
where
the
we get to
pod's
the
where you
meat of
need it,
stuff.
yeah.
So as long as you were
I
here
know
for
why
the
you were
pod.
angry. Probably because you had to, you're like, oh damn, he's not here. I'm going to have to actually pretend to care about the Kanye West album.
Probably.
I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't.
All right.
All right. Where can the listener find you at on social medias again?
Okay, TikTok and Instagram is the same. It is Undead Beretta 666 on Snapchat. My Snapchat is CRAYJ Savage, and then everything else is CJ Beretta. So
Oh yeah.
Go give him a
Make
follow.
sure you guys go give him a follow.
Email
Go listen
coming
to
out
his
soon.
music.
You
and
can
obviously my link tree is in my
Link
bio.
tree.
Instagram
Link tree.
description. Yes.
Yeah, the link tree has everything you need. Okay, I spent hours putting all of those URLs in there.
All right, you can give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at CWHipHop. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram at bvnc9to5, on Twitter at IamBVNC. Garke, where can the listener find you at?
You guys can find me on Instagram at GarkeGains, GarkeGainz, and pretty much every other platform at just Garke. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We really do appreciate it. How about you, Prizm?
You can find me on Instagram as prizmrap, PRIZMRAP, and as Prizm on Facebook. Thanks to everyone for joining in.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
It's a great show.
Also,
Thanks
make
for
sure you
being
guys go get your merch, CWHipHop.com
Yes, sir.
/shop.
Pre-order.
Get your
Go
pre-order
get the
shirt.
merch.
Get it!
Get
here.
it.
Hey, you haven't ordered it yet.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on blast right now. I'm gonna put you on blast right now. You're telling everybody else to order, but you, what a hypocrite.
Well,
What
that's
a
Ezzy the same
hypocrite.
thing.
Well, I don't know how
I
to
can't
do
even
it.
believe the audacity this man has.
The audacity. Have you ordered any of my merch?
Maybe I pre-ordered the e-monster. How do you know?
Oh shit.
Because it's not there, you liar.
Exactly. I pre-ordered
Caught
it in
you
here.
slipping.
I pre-ordered it in here.
All right, we're going to end the show here. Thank you guys for tuning in for another week. We'll be back. Actually, we're going to CWHipHop.com. We are going to be missing next week, the 15th. We do have a concert.
We're going to Mark Rubier.
Mark
Where is that, by the way? I forgot.
I believe
where
it's
that was.
Minneapolis.
Is it Minneapolis?
Yep, we're going to
Okay.
Minneapolis. So we'll be taking a week off there, and then we'll be back with the Ezzy Lay interview on the 22nd of September.
Hell yes.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for
Appreciate your
having
time.
Hell yeah. Well,
All right.
see ya.
Peace.
Have a good rest of your day.
Peace.
Peace.
Just
Jacob, your mother
We're
wants
still here.
you to call her.
She can be a bit.
That was a really good interview.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I
the
enjoyed
questions were good, answers were good. You guys did really good together.